Welcome. We're David and Hillary, and this is our movie preview of the movie Thunderbolts. Thunderbolts was released on May 2nd, 2025, and it's rated PG-13 for strong violence, language, thematic elements, and some suggestive and drug references. It's got a runtime of about 2 hours and 7 minutes. So this is our preview of the movie. We're not going to give you spoilers, but we're going to just try to give you enough information that you can make a good decision about whether this movie is for you or not. And when we were trying to decide if this movie was for us or not, we kind of based some of that on what the movie that we had just seen, Captain America: Brave New World, which we didn't really like. I mean, it wasn't terrible, but it wasn't great. And we were going to do a preview of that and probably should have, but all we could really say about it is it was meh.
I fell asleep twice.
Yeah.
I mean, we saw it twice and I fell asleep both times.
And we just couldn't figure out what we wanted to say about it. So anyway, we saw, okay, another Marvel movie. They're slamming them together really close.
Yeah.
What are they doing? Is this even going to be good?
Yeah. And so really we just thought, I mean, are we even going to see this? Are we going to go see Thunderbolts?
Right.
I wasn't blown away by the previews.
Right.
And, but we were glad we did. This movie was much better.
It was. The story was compelling. The script was a lot better. I mean, in Brave New World, Harrison Ford and Anthony Mackie were both good. They both turned in good performances, but they just didn't have that much to work with. Mm-hmm. And the script was so much better in Thunderbolts.
Yeah. And we loved the humor. The characters were very likable. The dark, snarky humor of Yelena Belova, played by Florence Pugh, and the over-enthusiastic, ridiculous humor of the Red Guardian, played by David Harbour. They were our favorites. Even the salty characters were likable in their saltiness.
That's true. And the one kind of exception to that, I will say, they took God's name in vain several times. And if it was once, I probably wouldn't have brought it up. But that was my least favorite part of the movie. They just didn't need that.
Yeah.
It didn't make it better.
It stood out because it felt like, of all the movies we've seen, it felt like that was...
it felt out of place,
yeah,
especially in a PG-13 movie.
Yeah, it did.
So, I've never been a big comic book reader. I grew up liking superheroes, especially Spider-Man. He was my favorite, but I wasn't actually allowed to read the comic books when I was a kid. My parents thought it was a little too much for all the violence and all the stuff. So anyway, I had read where some people thought in this movie characters that they knew about, that they knew should have a certain character arc, a certain trajectory. They thought, oh, if this character's introduced, then certain things about that character should be in the movie. Well, I didn't know any of that. So to me, the chemistry, the timing, the story was really good. I didn't have any expectations except I hope this is a better Marvel movie. Mm-hmm. And so if you go into it just like, I hope this is a good movie, I think you'll like it.
Yeah, and we've really kind of come to think, what can a superhero movie do that it hasn't already done?
Exactly.
But this movie was interesting and kept us guessing. So we recommend it.
Yeah. So we're going to throw in a couple of trivia type comments. Mm-hmm. I stumbled across a young girl, Charlotte A. Tucker, on Instagram. I was just scrolling through, and she's got all these reels where she says funny things that like grown-up women would say, but she says them. She's like 5 or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's pretty funny. I showed them to you.
Yeah.
Well, I just happened to be scrolling through. I think it was on May 2nd, which is when Thunderbolts was released, and her mother runs her account, and she said, we could not let anybody know this until today, but Charlotte landed a small role in the movie, and she was talking about how great the cast was to her behind the scenes and everything.
So
and
cute.
I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So we were kind of looking for that in the movie, and it is very brief, but it was fun to see her get a role. She's, I don't know how old she is now, 5 or 6, but
yep.
Look her up on Instagram if you've never seen or heard of Charlotte A. Tucker.
Yeah. And then another piece of trivia was with Florence Pugh. Mm-hmm. She loves heights, and she wanted to jump off the Merdeka 118 building in the opening.
Yeah, that's in Kuala Lumpur, I think.
And it is the second tallest building in the world.
Yeah.
And the studio was like, no, that is what CGI is for.
And insurance.
Yeah. And she eventually talked them into it. And the scene that you see in the movie is Florence jumping off this building with no CGI or stunt double. So watch for that. That's pretty impressive.
That's crazy. Also, I just thought Florence Pugh was great in the movie. We're not going to give a bunch away, but she goes through quite a range of things that she encounters and quite a range of emotions, and she plays it all really well. It's all convincing.
Yep, I agree.
Well, as you go to see this movie, if you haven't seen it yet, I've been thinking, what can we say? Because we're probably not going to do movie post views for a while. They just take up so much time, and we just have crazy lives right now. But we want to keep the previews. And so instead of giving you more in-depth conversations about the movie after you see it, I wanted to give you something to think about as you go to see the movie. So Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. once said, "Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that." So just think about that when you go to see this movie. Keep that in the back of your mind, and I think it'll make sense.
Yes. Yeah.
My score for the movie was a 92 out of 100. Not the greatest movie I've ever seen, but good and worth your time. So an A- on my scale. We recommend it, and I hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. We're David and Hillary.
The movie was Thunderbolts,
And that's our preview.